seen anything like that. No good. Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk the sports and other stuff, like trespassing. I had some damn bum rummaging through my trash cans again, and I said, that's it. I can't take this anymore. So I grabbed my old rifle off the mantle, and I shot that bastard in the leg. Turns out, he was a town garbage man, and I've got a court date in December. Now, here's your host, Mr. Eastside David McDonald, everybody.
I'm telling you, Roy, these introductions are going to get us pinched at some point. You are going to get us arrested.
Oh,
There's so many bizarre confessions and or threats that go on a literally 15 to 20 second Roy Harter introduction for the show. It's very disturbing. But nonetheless, you are watching us and listening to us live. It's
yes,
the
I am, David.
Sports Program. If you're watching us live on YouTube TV, we thank you. Keep in mind, we like to take the live broadcast, polish it up a little bit. We revamp it, we upgrade it, whatever the fucking terms are, and then we re-release it on YouTube tonight, and then on wherever you get your audio podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, etc. Amazon. Oh, there is no Stitcher. Amazon Music, etc. You get the finished. What is it called in the record business? Remastered, Roy?
The mastered file, David.
Yeah. You get the remastered file tonight. But, just for shits and giggles, we do this little live thing just in case a couple of our friends want to hang out with us. That's all.
It felt more appropriate when I was doing the producing to call it the remastering because of my special needs. Now that Hutch is doing it, we should just call it the mastering.
Right. Yeah. All right. But Bobby Hutchinson doing a phenomenal job with the videos.
Oh, yeah.
And helping us remaster. We have a thing here, Roy, that we haven't invited you to yet. And Robert and I we're waiting for the show to spring this little surprise on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like surprises, David.
When you wanted a friend to sleep over and you asked in front of the friends so the mom felt awkward.
Let me get into my fucking conversation, will you?
Sure.
Jesus. It's amazing. Now, we've been doing a hit show that is exclusive. It appears first on patreon.com/EastsideDave. And that is Davey Mac's Tales from Satellite, where I recount my nearly 10-year Sirius XM satellite radio career. Of course, Ron and Fez stories, Opie and Anthony stories, Sam and Dave stories, Davey Mac Sports Program XL stories, which Roy was a part of.
Sure was, buddy.
Yep. And we took an informal poll because Robert brought up on the last Davey Mac's Tales from the Satellite something he's been wanting me to do for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Okay.
And he wants us to do a show from Great Adventure, Six Flags Great Adventure.
Like a remote show.
Yes, the gigantic amusement park.
On the great big bandstand in front of the entire park, or
no? That would be awesome. By the way, he wants us to walk around Six Flags Great Adventure on Thursday and just fucking shoot the shit and do a show. I told Robert it's got absolutely not one goddamn thing to do with Sirius XM satellite radio. It's very random. I don't know why would we do this show for Davey Mac's Tales from the Satellite. I can't have my beautiful new hit series corrupted by Robert and his bizarre ideas. But nevertheless, I decided I'm going to take an informal poll on Patreon. By the way, if you want to check out the show, we put the old episodes, the archived episodes are on YouTube. So go check those out for free. But subscribe to patreon.com/EastsideDave to get it at least a month to 2 months in advance. Anyway, I took an informal poll, and the poll said they want the Six Flags Great Adventure show.
Really?
I was shocked. I was like, do you people understand what this is going to be? Nothing. It's going to be total bullshit. It's going to be, like walking on the fucking line, talk. I don't know what this fucking shit will even be. I personally cannot imagine this show being any good in any way, shape, or form. And it's got nothing to do with Sirius XM. So I don't even understand why we're doing it, but the poll says they want it. So, Roy, this Thursday, Robert, myself, and a young man, and did we invite the other guy?
Nope, we're going to do it right now with Roy.
Fucking Christ! What the fuck is wrong with you? I said you better not fucking forget, otherwise his feelings are going to get hurt.
No, we definitely would.
I ask you to invite this motherfucker.
He texts me every Monday to see if he can do the show or not. And so I was waiting for that text. Got it.
That's not what producers do. Producers don't wait. Producers are fucking proactive, you piece of shit. And at the very least, listen to what the host asked you to do 35 fucking times. So anyway, Big A, be 100% pissed off at Robert Tamburro. Because what we're doing, Roy, is we're going to Great Adventure, and Bobo is coming with us.
Oh, okay.
So I told Robert, make sure you fucking text Big A, Andrew Gold, because you know that, and this is for real, folks. Bobo, Daniel Curlin, and Big A, Andrew Gold have a legit rivalry, or at least it's a one-side rivalry. Andrew fucking hates Bo. And anytime Bo does something, Andrew gets jealous. If Bo appears on this show for fucking 7 minutes, he's mad. He instantly asks, Davey Mac, I got to be on next week's episode. Have you noticed that? He always follows a Bobo episode because he gets jealous. And I understand. Those two are Abbott and Costello of the 21st century. They don't want to be fucking broken up, or one doesn't want to be put over the other. I get it. So the second we got Bo confirmed, I go, Robert, you got to fucking invite Big A, Andrew Gold.
Yes, sir. And look who's in the chat.
And Andrew, that's our Andrew. He says,
that is our Andrew, hopefully.
When are we going to Great Adventure? Andrew, I apologize. Robert was supposed to reach out to you. Anyway, looks like I'm reaching out to fucking Big A. So
I'm sure he enjoys that more.
So listen, we're going to Six Flags Great Adventure on Thursday. What kind of fucking shit show will emerge? I have no goddamn earthly idea. But Roy, you are now officially invited. We were waiting.
I appreciate that, David. I will check my calendar and make sure. I can't give you a definite yes or no right now. But I'd love to go.
There's no chance in hell he's going, Robert.
That's what you said about the poll.
First of all, how many times have I been to your house, Roy?
3 times, David.
3?
Yeah, officially 3 times.
No, not officially 3 times. You can multiply that by 5. I've been to your house way more times than that. Roy, we've done so many shows from your house. I've done the fucking wrestling from your house.
Yes. You're right,
fucking
David.
Meeting up with you and Sean O'Barry one time.
You're right. 6 times.
It's at least 10 times, Bobby. Now you're bothering me because now you're lying.
Okay, I will say this. While not a lot, but definitely under 10 times.
I hate you so much. It's probably 9.5 times too.
I can't count the times we went to Anthony's house as my house. I mean,
that counts. If I went to your house, I went to your house.
Okay. All right. So let's say 15 times.
That was the fucking number.
You sure, Roy? That seems a little high.
That was the fucking number I said. We had to go back and forth to come back to the goddamn original number of 15, which I said.
I'm agreeing with you, David.
Oh,
yeah. You should be happy.
You two motherfuckers are making it hard on me today. And everyone in my life is making it hard on me. I can't even do a show. I've got some fucking Twitter feud.
Uh-oh. What's going on, David? Does this have anything to do with the Star Wars people?
Yes, it does. Because I told you off the air a minute before the show. but I like when you present yourself as smart. That's great. You fucking asshole. So here's the deal. On Thursday, me, Robert, Big A, and Bobo. Well, is Andrew coming?
He says, "Yay, thanks, Mr. Champion."
You are invited. Now, here's the thing that I want to tell Bo and Big A. You got to pay your own way.
Oh, just got a text. Bo's out.
Now, come on, guys. You know, it's 70 or used to be you could get a Coke can in the summer and it would be like a 2-for-1. So the $70 ticket, which is insane, would go down to $35. All right.
I remember you used to be able to bring in a snowball and get in for free. Now you're like, wait a minute, a snowball in the middle of summer. What the fuck are you talking about? People would save snowballs, put them in their freezer, and then they'd have a party at Great Adventure, bring a fucking cooler full of snowballs, and everyone would get in for free.
You're right. Yeah. And the Coke can, they used to do all that shit. I don't know if they still do that shit anymore, and it is fucking pricey. So you got to pay your admission ticket. We can't be, like I said to Bo, ask your mom for the money. Andrew, it's going to be harder, I think, to ask a parent.
We could try something with Big A we used to do at Hershey Park all the time. Do they stamp your hand when you leave?
Yeah, I think so.
So we used to leave, get your hand stamped, lick it real quick, and then press it on another guy's, and you both have a stamp to get in. Yeah,
that was the old trick. I used to do that at concerts all the time, too.
Not bad. All right. Well, we got to think of a way to but
film
as
that.
Of now, me, Robert, Big A, and Bo are all going to Great Adventure on Thursday. It will be recorded, and I guess it will be put up for the goddamn fucking shut up. That was my phone. I apologize.
I didn't even say anything. Oh,
it was my phone.
Okay. I thought you were talking to me again.
But we're going there on Thursday and we're going to record it. And I'm warning everyone, it could be a good show. It could be very interesting. It could be very fun. It could also be the worst thing of all time. I'm saying this, I don't want credit nor blame. All of that goes to Robert.
I live.
And that includes the credit because you're the one wanting to talk to me into this, despite me saying I can't imagine this being good in any way, shape, or form.
To be completely honest, Dave, that's why I love working with you, because it truly is. Are you sink or swim? It's up to you. I'm glad that you're willing to support my endeavor. So it could end up being the Cole of all closers, that guy you hate for the Yankees, but it could also end up being Mariano Rivera. We don't know.
Now, why Great Adventure, Robert? Is there some significance on that particular day, or
Dave lives close to Great Adventure?
Yeah,
it's an amusement park. And all kidding aside, there was a story he did that's not long enough to cover about Six Flags. But if we're there and we add the supplemental stuff in, we can make a full episode out of it.
I have multiple Six Flags Great Adventure stories. So that at the very least, I already have 4 pretty fun little Great Adventure stories. And one of them one or two of them have to kind of deal with my time at SiriusXM. They took place during my SiriusXM era. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So there is that tie-in. So I thought, okay, at the very least, I'm going to bring in some Great Adventure stories that are somewhat amusing. And at the very least, we got that covered. And there's 1 or 2 tie-ins to SiriusXM because of my stories.
Okay,
so,
makes sense.
We'll do that, but I do think it's more of Robert wants to ride, the Great American Scream Machine and Rolling Thunder.
And why do they have to be mutually exclusive? Why can't I think it's going to be a great adventure and we can have fun at the same time?
So, all right. So that's that. So, Roy, you've been invited officially.
Well, thank you, and I will check my calendar when we get off the air, and I will get back to you within minutes. Yeah. I promise.
He ain't coming, Robert.
I actually think I have a rehearsal booked on Thursday already, but it's not till the evening, so we'll just we'll talk about it.
Okay, because there might even be a sleepover at my house.
You ever had a s'more, Roy?
Yeah, count me out for that one, David.
The sleepover of me, Robert, Bo, and Andrew. You wouldn't love that? We're going to watch scary movies all night and drink.
That would be some You know what?
That's
I'm not going to say
show.
no yet.
I told Robert that we got to fucking set up the recording equipment there and record that shit. The sleepover's the show.
Yeah. I may. All right. I'll get back to you on that, buddy.
All right. Now let me go into this. Gentlemen, I thought we had it. I thought we had the greatest sports guest in the history of the Davey Mac Sports Program. And let's keep in mind, we've had Felipe Lopez, okay, St. John's star, former NBA player, considered one of the best St. John's players of all time, got a 30 for 30 made on him. I always tell you, you're a big deal if you're getting a 30 for 30. Felipe Lopez, 30 for 30.
Yeah.
Boom.
He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Kurt Angle, Billy Mitchell. Okay, we've had some big timers here.
George Chigger,
the competitive world competitive eating professional. He was there at the Nathan's Hot Dog, the big 6'8" guy with the red beard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's him.
That guy from the New York Stampede that never made it to the NFL. We had him too.
Yeah, well, I wasn't bringing him up for those reasons.
Oh, my bad. I thought we were just naming good guests.
That's okay. So anyway, my mom tells me a story of what just happened over the weekend. She's golfing in this mixed golf tournament, whatever, men and women playing together.
black and white.
Some weird shit going on. And she happens to be on a team, and she's getting a conversation with a guy, and the guy says, "Oh yeah, my daughter. She's married to Derek Jeter." First of all, that means that my mom was playing golf with the DirecTV genie. Remember, that's who Derek Jeter, Hannah something.
That's right.
Gorgeous woman, Hannah, whatever her last name was, would do those DirecTV genie commercials, and everyone just called her DirecTV Genie. And she was so smoking hot that everyone was just like, "Oh, that DirecTV Genie, man, another great commercial by her." And you know, Derek Jeter was the same thing. It was just channel flipping and like, whoa. So he got married to her. So my mom is playing golf with the DirecTV Genie's father. There she is. There's Hannah, the DirecTV Genie with a horse.
Yes, I recognize them both.
She's with John Elway right there. She dated John Elway before Jeter. But anyway, my mom, Roy, Robert, this is how the producer, and this is for you, Robert. This is how the producer in me thinks. The second my mom says, "Oh, I was golfing with Derek Jeter's father-in-law, the DirecTV Genie's fucking dad. I was golfing with them." My producer brain is going, my son, this is Beanie Mac talking. My son David has a sports show, on the old internet. Mm-hmm. Do you think Derek could do a Zoom interview? Right? Isn't that what, you'd think as a producer, something?
Nice and easy, yeah.
The guy says to Beanie Mac, "Derek Jeter's my son-in-law. He's married to my daughter, Hannah." And you know what my mom's first words are?
Who's Hannah?
"I never cared for him. He's never had an outgoing personality. In fact, I think he's somebody who probably should have went to college. Because in college, he would have gotten some social etiquette and some graces. He was never outgoing, and I just don't care for his personality." Let me tell you something, Bob. And now she's giving the fucking father-in-law to Derek Jeter the rigmarole. She's cutting a promo on the goddamn fucking golf course about Derek Jeter. This is a woman who's a lifelong Yankee fan, ladies and gentlemen. I need you to understand that. My mother, my father, my grandparents, my mom's born in the Bronx. She's a lifelong New York gal. And she's going, very standoffish. I love Aaron Judge. Do you see him being nice to the people? You see, they got the judges' quarters. They never had a Jeter's quarters. They never had anything like that. You know why? He's not outgoing. He's not personable. And then I'm like, how much fucking smack talk can you talk? She's she's relaying this conversation to me as if she thinks I'm going to agree with her. I was horrified that this was happening. She proceeds. She proceeds. She fucking keeps dissing Derek Jeter. She talks about Aaron Judge. She says she never liked Jeter. She goes, I don't even know what he's doing now. He's not helping out the Yankees. I see Reggie Jackson come back. I see Bernie Williams at the stadium all the time. I never see Jeter. What, he can't help out the younger players? He's too busy. He quit his Florida Marlins job, did he not, David? And now he can't help out the younger guys? She goes, oh my God. I go, Mom, he's on TV. He's doing the Fox pregame, with Alex Rodriguez and David Ortiz and those guys. She goes, oh my God, he's going to get buried. She goes, Big Papi and A-Rod, they've got personality. He can't keep up with them. They're funny. They tell jokes. They got personality. A-Rod sometimes wears funny hats because she saw him put a fucking cowboy hat on for the All-Star game. And she goes, A-Rod sometimes wears funny hats. She goes, he didn't want to wear the hat. No personality. She's saying this to the guy's father-in-law. She is saying this point blank to the father of Derek Jeter's wife. I go, Mom, did you for a second think maybe Derek would have been a goddamn good guest and you not cut a goddamn Roddy Piper promo on the fucking guy? It was crazy.
David. Yeah.
So I have big news for you guys. No Derek Jeter as a guest on the Davey Mac Sports Program ever.
I thought we may have actually had a shot because if Beanie thought the father-in-law hated Derek, she's like, oh, maybe he'll set him up for an ambush.
No, she's literally telling me how the father-in-law was reacting for this thing, and the guy was clearly uncomfortable because every time she's giving me his reaction, he kept wanting to change the subject. She was like, I never liked Derek. And she goes, and then all of a sudden, he just wants to talk golf. But I wouldn't let him off the hook. And so the guy was like, anyway, it's a nice day to play golf today, right?
Every time I spoke, he started drinking.
I couldn't believe it. And she goes, and I was in the shower when she called me. So the voice message I got was, David, you must call me immediately. I have incredible news that you have to hear. And when she went into the story about Derek Jeter and Hannah, the DirecTV Jeter, the way she was setting it up, I swear to fucking God, I thought she was going there. I thought she was saying, anyway, I told Bob, I said, hey, can Derek get a Zoom call? And so, yes. So Derek will be Zooming you guys next Monday. I thought that was going to be the ending of the story. I swear to God, the happy, nervous energy was building and building and building until she went into, I told him I don't like him. I never liked him. No charisma. Lifelong Yankee fan born in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And you were saying you were having a rough week.
If she had run into Barry Manilow's father-in-law, she would have had the most glowing report about how much she loves Barry Manilow.
He does write the songs. But you were having such a rough week. You probably had that moment where like, oh, this is the turnaround. This is where everything turns golden for a split second when she was like, I talked to Derek Jeter's father-in-law.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. My fucking brain went racing into, oh my God, we're getting Jeter. Oh, we're getting Jeter. We're getting Jeter. We're getting Jeter. And then I said this about him. And then I told Bob, this is what I don't like about him. Oh, and also I don't like this about him, Bob. Jesus, mommy.
Didn't you say they were teammates too?
Yes, she's on the team.
I start to understand where some of the dynamics come from.
This was the small talk that she engaged in with fucking the DirecTV Genie's father between, driving the goddamn golf ball. It was her small talk was, I am going to badmouth your son-in-law, who happens to be one of the greatest Yankee legends of all time.
Wow. Man.
A Mount Rushmore, in my opinion, of all-time Yankees.
Easily.
You go Ruth, you go Mantle, you go DiMaggio, and you go Jeter. That means a couple of difficult cuts. Lou Gehrig, I know. I understand. That means Yogi Berra. I get it. I know. Someone's got to get cut. But the guy, 20,000 people have played Major League Baseball since 1900, and the guy is 6th all-time in hits, 5 World Series championships, 5 Gold Gloves, the only player in Major League Baseball history to win the All-Star Game MVP and World Series MVP in the same year, 2000. The amount of the career postseason batting average over 300, in addition to his career lifetime batting average, which is over 300. It's insane not to fucking think that Derek Jeter isn't an all-time great player. You got to get him in, whether you like his personality or not.
I can't believe you left Paul O'Neill off that list.
I love Paul O'Neill, but
while you're making Mount Rushmores, we have a request. Could you do your Mount Juicemore? The 4 best steroid players of all time.
Yeah, that's relatively easy. You got to start with Bonds and Clemens, and then you go with McGuire and Sosa.
Yeah.
That's your Mount Rushmore of juiced up, of juice heads right there.
I might throw Canseco on the list because he got the ball rolling, and he makes fun of A-Rod.
Sosa and McGuire's stats eclipse, you know what? A-Rod. I could take Sosa off and put A-Rod in.
I could see that.
Let's not forget, Sosa has like over 600 home runs.
Yeah, he was the man.
I could take Sosa off and put in A-Rod.
I went to see him. Do you remember when he hurt his back sneezing?
Yeah.
So he went to the minor league team where I grew up near Memphis and was playing like one of his recovery games. So we all went to see him, and he struck out looking in 3 pitches at his first at bat, and then it rained out the rest of the game.
That's all. So speaking of baseball, Aaron Judge hit his 50 and 51st home runs yesterday. It is still only August 26th. He's got the entire month of September to catch his own record, his own American League single-season home run record of 62 home runs. Will he do it, Roy?
I'm going to say, yeah. I mean, he's got a month. How many does he have to get in that month?
He's got to get 12 to get to 63, which would break the record.
Okay, that seems very doable. Yeah,
very doable.
Home run?
Because if you look at it, he's got 51 home runs at the end of 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But he only had 2 home runs by April 27th. It's insane. The other 49 home runs pretty much have all come in May, June, July, and August. That is fucking crazy. So if he stays on that pace, he can absolutely get to 63.
Do you think that you think that the other team, being aware of this, you think they'll just walk him or just hit him?
They've been trying, but Giancarlo Stanton is back. And in fact, he had a home run yesterday. Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, and then Giancarlo Stanton hit back-to-back home runs. Also, Austin Wells, their rookie pitcher, has come on big time. In the second half of this season, Austin Wells is an all-star catcher. He is an excellent young player, and he's been hitting the shit out of the baseball. So you can't walk these guys if you're going to have guys hit behind them. And with Stanton and Wells, I'm feeling pretty good all of a sudden.
Okay.
But there is controversy with Aaron Judge.
Of course.
They had a Little League game. They had a Major League Baseball game last Sunday at the Little League, stadium. Okay. We discussed it. Clay Holmes fucked it up for us, for the Yankees.
That's right.
But what we didn't discuss is something that emerged a few days later. And that is that Staten Island Little League coach, Bob Laterza, took a shot at Aaron Judge. It made all the New York papers, New York Post, Daily News. Everyone's covering this story. Apparently, he said that Judge ignored his team, even though there's shots of Aaron Judge there's tons of photographs of him meeting with kids, shaking kids' hand, throwing the ball to kids. There's a zillion goddamn fucking photographs of him meeting with the kids and being with the kids all day long. The thing is, a lot of the Major League Baseball players got assigned certain fucking teams. There's a million teams. There's international teams. There was a whole bunch of American teams. So a lot of the Major League Baseball players got assigned different teams. It wasn't fucking Judge's fault that he wasn't assigned to the Staten Island team. He meets a whole bunch of fucking kids. And then the next thing you know, there he is. There he is with kids. He's fucking hanging out. He's signing. He's laughing. He's joking.
Yeah.
But these baseball players are told what to do and where to go. And the Staten Island guy says Aaron Judge ignored his team. No, he didn't. You just saw Aaron Judge with those kids.
Now, I don't know if you noticed there was also an airplane in the back. Did they park that plane on the field, or is that? I don't know.
They might have a little mini airport at that complex, because they've made that Williamsport, Pennsylvania thing. It's not just one Little League baseball stadium anymore. It's a whole entire goddamn complex. It's got multiple Little League fields, got softball fields, it's got Major League Baseball sized field. Okay. Very well could be an airport right by that place.
Okay. Yeah. Because it looks like he's standing on the tarmac.
But the point is, this guy fucking goes and reaches out to all the papers, all the media, rather than just talking to the Yankees, who are always good at honoring before every Yankee game. They actually do. And now here's the Yankees batting lineup. And before every fucking game, it's actually a Little League team that introduces what the Yankee batting lineup will be for that day's game. Every single game. The Yankees always honor Little League teams, especially teams that go far. Yeah. This fucking coach goes this. He says this. How about turning around? This is what Staten Island Little League baseball coach Bob Laterza said. Quote, how about turning around and waving to New York and the kids that think you're a hero? After we win this thing, they ain't taking pictures with us. They're the ones who pay your salary. So he was threatening. He said he was basically threatening Aaron Judge and the Yankees. When we win the Little League World Series, you don't get to take pictures with us.
Yeah,
I like the shoe will be on the other foot. Yeah, that would have been good had they not choked and fucking got eliminated and Florida won the Little League World Series, ladies and gentlemen. Not the team from Staten Island, New York. Florida won the Little League World Series. So now the coach's stupid threat means Jack and shit. Jack left town.
Well, as a man who doesn't like to have my photo taken with children either, I kind of, for obvious reasons, I kind of understand, maybe he was just, they made him stand with this group of kids.
We showed the video. He was there meeting kids, signing autographs, signing gloves, doing whatever he could. The fucking Staten Island coach just sounds like a mouthy douchebag. Hey, asshole, next time, reach out to the Yankees privately. I guarantee you they invite the whole fucking Staten Island team onto the field before batting practice for some game. You stupid fucking asshole. If you were such a Yankees fan, you would know that they do that. Also, I'm so sick and tired of these fucking mouthy assholes saying they pay Aaron Judge's salary. No, you don't. Hal Steinbrenner does. I'm not trying to fucking defend Hal Steinbrenner, by the way.
No.
But just because you go to 2 Yankee games a year, don't mean somehow you've got fucking $45 million a season to pay to the fucking thing. All that stupid ass shit of I pay your salary. I pay your salary. No, you don't. You don't pay none of the checks say Bob Laterza. None of the checks say Staten Island Little League on it. Just because fans support someone at an exponential rate, and then the billionaire says, I have to fucking pay this guy, you don't get to take credit for that. Because guess what, Bob Laterza? You and all the fucking brats that you manage, if you guys stop watching the Yankees tomorrow, it won't make a goddamn difference. they'll still get 4 million people showing up to Yankee Stadium year in and year out because that's their average attendance. They're usually around 4 million people who attend Yankee games year in and year out. Okay, Bob Laterza, you nor none of your brats pay for fucking Aaron Judge's salary. And if you just fucking jinxed Aaron Judge by putting some weird fucking karma on him, I'm very superstitious, especially when it comes to baseball. And if you fuck the good karma with Judge up and you prevent him from winning a World Series this year, then you are to blame, Bob Laterza. In fact, Bob Laterza and all of Staten Island Little League, you're on the Shizer list.
Shizer, you're the ones that we despise. I tell you, David, that I pay your salary trick doesn't work. I used to use that every time I got pulled over for a speeding ticket. It never, ever works. Telling you.
Also, would you say Judge is the most popular Yankee right now?
You couldn't be a nicer human being. This guy is lauded by everyone for being a good guy. He is constantly showing up to New York events, not just Knicks games and Rangers games and even Giants and Jets games. New York Marathon, New York this, New York that. He is constantly showing up, doing stuff, giving people his time, giving kids, visiting kids in the hospital. All you've seen from Aaron Judge is him doing the right thing in a much more personable way than, I hate to sound like Beanie Mac, but in a much more personable way than Derek Jeter. By the way, I never minded Derek Jeter's, I guess his being detached from the media. I never minded it. You know why? He went out there and kicked ass for 162 games, and then for the month of October, he kicked ass. I could give a shit what the fuck you say to reporters. It don't matter to me. Get the job done on the baseball field. That's all that I care about.
Absolutely. But if you're a kid who's clearly loves baseball enough that you're in the Little League World Series, and your coach all of a sudden goes, no, if we win this, we're not taking pictures with the biggest Yankee. You're robbing those kids of their opportunity, too.
Yep. This coach went into business for himself in the absolute worst way possible. It was really fucking, it's a sign of the times, isn't it? You got to fucking make everything public. If you had reached out to the Yankees, I guarantee you that entire team would have gotten some very special golden trip to Yankee Stadium. I guarantee it, because the Yankees have been doing it for decades. They've been doing that.
Well, they got beat by Florida, so maybe hit up the Mets.
Fucking A. By the way, Judge, with the 50 and 51st home runs yesterday, becomes just the fifth player to do so in Major League. Becomes just the fifth player to have 3 separate seasons of 50 home runs or more, joining Babe Ruth and the steroid crew, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and A-Rod. So it's Aaron Judge, Babe Ruth, and 3 juice heads are the only. Think about what Aaron Judge is doing, folks. If that doesn't put it into a very, very crystal clear historical fucking thing, we're seeing the best player in goddamn 100 years.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Hook, non-steroid, best non-steroid player.
Okay.
I mean, maybe throw Paul O'Neill into the conversation, but that's about it.
Now, speaking of Babe Ruth, his fucking called shot jersey sold for $24 million.
I heard about this, actually. Yes. $24 million for a T-shirt.
Well, it's a jersey. It was the jersey he wore for the controversial called shot. Do you know when that happened, Roy?
Probably 1949.
1949, Robert?
Or maybe probably later. I'm sorry, 1955.
1955, Robert.
I believe it was 1982 in Indiana when Jimmy said, "I'll make the shot," and then he made it. That's what we're talking about, right?
No, Babe Ruth. Let's go.
22.
1922?
1932 was the Yankees-Chicago Cubs World Series. And there is obviously debate about whether he did it or not. Now, there is a picture online of Babe Ruth going like this. Now, like extending his right arm, and it was during the at-bat. Now, a lot of people say, well, to be fair, what he was doing was actually yelling at the Chicago Cubs dugout. They were on the third base side line, and they were giving Ruth shit. They were giving him lots of shit, fat jokes, things like that. And he said, it just takes one, a old age, baseball adage. And he said, it just takes one, and I'm going to fucking hit this home run and this fucking at-bat. You guys just watch. And he may have been pointing at the third base dugout. But nevertheless, he was kind of calling his shot even if he did that. Now, did he stand back all dramatically with fucking, John Williams music behind him and point to center field and, I shall hit the home run to straightaway center field? Like, there's a good chance he didn't do that, but there is a good chance that he called his shot in some way, shape, or form. I'm just letting you know. And this is the guy who Aaron Judge is basically compared to now. I mean, think about that.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to have to start investing in Aaron Judge jerseys before they hit the $24 million mark. Seems like a viable investment, David.
Now,
with regard to him breaking his own record, Dave, because the Yankees are so close in the division right now, does that make it harder for him, do you think? I know you said if the backup hitters are there, but if they were running away with it, there's a better chance people are more likely to pitch to him.
I think it's not if they're running away with it, but if a team's season is over, like the Colorado Rockies or Chicago White Sox, and they're going nowhere, then they should be pitching to Aaron Judge.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, also, your team has young players on it. And if your team's going nowhere, you play the young guys and you have them pitch and hit against the best of the best. Otherwise, because September's the time for those young guys to grow and to play against the superstars of the league. So you don't have your young pitcher intentionally walking Aaron Judge because that's not going to help him for the future. The future is pitching the Judge. If he hits a fucking grand slam 500 feet, what difference does it make? You're 50 games under 500, but then maybe next year, if the team is better, you're going to remember that and remember how to pitch to them.
I didn't even think about that.
It really depends on whether their opponents are out of it. Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve. She's the pain in the ass who refused to answer any questions about Caitlin Clark when they asked Cheryl Reeve, how come she's not on the U.S. Olympic team? And she said, I'm not talking about Caitlin Clark. Fuck Caitlin Clark. I'm not going to fucking talk about Caitlin Clark.
Well, before we go into this bit, David, I just want to fix my hair because I know these are the clips that usually go viral. So yes, please continue now, David.
No, I'm not. This one's not going to go viral. I'm just going to tell you. This fucking asshole, Cheryl Reeve, who just couldn't admit that Caitlin Clark probably should have been on the U.S. women's Olympic basketball team. Why? Again, we talk about star power. The U.S. women got the lowest attendances in Paris. The lowest attended Olympic basketball games were games featuring the Americans. That should never be the case. No goddamn American Olympian should be getting the worst attendances and the worst ratings. None. So, again, we talked about star power. When Cheryl Reeve was simply asked that question, I don't want to talk about Caitlin Clark. And we're like, dude, you got to talk about stars, right? Well, now she's talking about stars. She said Caitlin Clark is exceptional. She says pace and passing are her two greatest assets. So we're seeing more and more people walk back their comments from a couple months ago. Just want to keep saying to everyone, the people who simply pointed it out a couple months ago were fucking vilified by a whole bunch of dishonest motherfuckers. And now all those people they're walking back their comments, and you're seeing a lot of people, well, I never see a Caitlin Clark. So the new thing again is, well, I don't hate Caitlin Clark. I hate Caitlin Clark fans. I literally keep seeing this all over social media. You mean the people, the fan, you mean, in other words, the expanded audience that are making the WNBA financially successful for the first time since 2001? You mean the people who are actually literally dragging your shitty, whack-ass fucking league out of bankruptcy? Don't take my words for it. Go to Forbes or go to any business publication. The league has been losing. It's been financially a disaster the last 5 years, on the verge of bankruptcy multiple times until the NBA bailed it out. So the people who are making the WNBA financially successful, Caitlin Clark fans, let's be honest, just like no one watched the Olympic team, there are 16 games, WNBA games this year, that have had over 1 million people watching on television. 14 of the 16 games are Caitlin Clark games. Star power, eyeballs. It's not up to anyone else to decide when or who a phenom is. It's not up to anyone else to decide when you have a transcendent superstar. Most intelligent organizations embrace the transcendent superstar. They embrace the phenom. That's all anyone ever said. That's all we were only talking about a couple months ago was, why are you not embracing this? Why shit on this person? So there it is. Anthony Edwards is a breakout star for the NBA. He made some controversial statements, but he made me laugh.
What did he say, David?
I love Anthony Edwards. In the same way I love Caitlin Clark, I love Anthony Edwards because I like stars. And I like people who simply bring something new and fun and special to the table. And Anthony Edwards is an amazing player for the Minnesota. That's you, Roy. Anthony Edwards is an amazing player for the Minnesota Timberwolves, okay? Anthony Edwards said, besides Michael Jordan, there were no skilled ball players back in the day.
I like this guy.
Bobby, I'm going to talk to you for a second.
Yeah, I'll be here for you.
What do you think about that quote? Besides Michael Jordan, there are no good. He specifically said skilled. I want to get his quote right. He said there were no skilled players besides Jordan.
I mean, Pistol Pete invented the game we play today. Like, he's the reason why people do crossovers and stuff. Jason Williams was playing at the time of Michael Jordan. He's still regarded as the greatest passer, the most skilled passer of all time.
I mean, there's a guy named Magic Johnson who exists, who was a fucking 6'10" point guard who could run about 55 miles an hour down the court and hit someone with the right hand or left hand right on the fucking dime without ever goddamn looking at them. I don't know. I think that takes skill. Because if Magic Johnson had come out in the 60s, they would have made him into either a power forward or a center. He wouldn't have been allowed to even play point guard. But the game had changed by the time Magic changed the game.
Yeah. I mean, didn't he invent AIDS?
I don't know, but everything you've said has been as equally insane as the introduction today.
David, we've been doing a show for almost 20 years now. Did you expect anything different?
You're right. You've always had a lot of lingering insanity. But no, Magic didn't invent AIDS, but I guess he did become HIV positive. But didn't they say he basically doesn't have it anymore?
Yeah, apparently
they said like all the drugs and stuff for the length of time, he doesn't have it anymore. I thought, I don't know, maybe
you guys keep telling me to stop doing drugs.
Yeah,
they gotta do the right.
Speaking of AIDS boy's teammate Magic Johnson, what about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the skyhook, a move that nobody can even do today anymore? I think that's what Roy was going to get to eventually.
And by the way, I can't understand that. I mean, if I'm not fucking praying mantis freak from goddamn the San Antonio Spurs, that Wembanyama character, Victor Wembanyama. Have you ever seen him, Roy? He reminds you of the fucking alien in Aliens. Like he's so tall with such long arms and legs. Why would he not do a sky hook?
Yeah. Maybe his giant head gets in the way. He
doesn't really have a giant head, but he has giant arms and legs.
Oh, okay.
Really insane looking. And it's like, dude, Victor, if you bring a sky hook, there he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got long arms. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And
if you said to Victor, dude, you just come up with a sky hook, he will not get stopped ever. You can't block that shot when you get to that height. You can't do it. It's an unblockable shot. So no matter who or what kind of defensive pressure you're facing, just casually shoot the sky hook if you have the technique down. It can't be blocked.
Forgive my ignorance, David. Sky hook is the shot where you kind of... Is that a sky hook?
Yes, that's a sky hook. But the key is Kareem did it off of one leg. And the key is you got to jump basically as high as you can off the one leg, okay, and get that arm all the way up. And Kareem sometimes would get so high, he would almost be shooting the ball almost down a little bit.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
As opposed to a jump hook, which is 2 feet, all right, or a baby hook, which is also usually 2 feet very close to the basket. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are different hook shots. The sky hook, one leg, 17 feet from the basket on the sideline, go as high as you can and hit that fucker.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying, David.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
that.
I'm 5'6", and I would add that move to my arsenal. When I was playing in high school, you would shoot away. Like, instead of going straight up, you would go away from the defender, and you'd still get – Steve Nash made it popular.
Yeah,
that same idea built off that principle, and nobody does it anymore. It drives me nuts.
I can't understand it. Shaq at least had a baby hook that he got extremely proficient at, and it was something that propelled Shaq to become an even greater player. By the time the 2000s hit, Shaq could hit that fucking baby hook anywhere from 5 to 8 feet. He was very consistent with it, and it couldn't be stopped. No matter who the fuck was on him, whether it was Tim Duncan, Chris Webber, it didn't fucking matter. It couldn't be stopped.
And we don't see it in the NBA anymore, but if you go to any Globetrotter game, there's a guy who from half court shoots a skyhook. Recruit him. Put him on your team. There's 2 seconds left. Give it to Curly. He's going to shoot the skyhook from half court. What are we doing?
I don't know. College football is back. College football is back, and the fucking right out of the gate, Florida State. So Florida State, remember this scandal last year? Florida State went undefeated in the ACC, but they still did not make the playoffs, which in college football last year was still only 4 teams, a 14 format. This year, they've expanded to 12 teams. Florida State would have made it, but hey, them's the rules. Last year, there was only 4, and people thought they were a little weak. Their quarterback got hurt. That was the biggest deal, is that their QB got hurt, and people said, listen, without that QB, they're not going to be a good team. They're not going to win in the playoffs. They got shut out of the playoffs despite going undefeated in the regular season. The coach complained about it, rightfully so, I think. If you go undefeated in the regular season and you're playing in a good conference, come on. You gotta make the goddamn playoffs. But nevertheless, the coach whined. And then when they got to their bowl game, they lost by 60 points. And everyone said, see, we told you Florida State fucking sucks and didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. And now they back that 60-point loss, months and months and months. They had all season, all off season to prepare. They go to Ireland to play the fucking Georgia Tech in Dublin. And they fucking choke. And they lose. They come into the game ranked 10th, and Florida State goes down. And I want to go back to the Staten Island fucking guy. You can't introduce bad karma into sports. It bites you in the ass every time.
You get to brag after you've accomplished the thing. If the Little League World Series coach had won the World Series, and then when they did their photo day with the New York Yankees team, they didn't take a picture, then you can talk. You've done your duty. If Florida State goes undefeated and wins the BCS this year, they can go, we should have been here last year. That said,
Yeah.
do you think this 12-team system makes football less significant?
No, I don't. I think college football has just gotten so big that there were teams, Florida State aside, I thought Georgia should have made it to the college football playoffs last year. They fucking go undefeated in the regular season after winning back-to-back championships. And yes, they lose in the SEC title game to Alabama. But to me, I would have put Alabama and Georgia both in. I mean, once Alabama beats Georgia in the title game, I think you got to go, okay, Alabama's there. But you win back-to-back championships. You go undefeated in the regular season. You lose exactly one game. By the way, Alabama lost a game. So you lose exactly one game, and it just happens to be at the end against Alabama. Like, come on. Georgia needed at least an opportunity to go for a three-peat. That was bullshit.
And I was of that school of thought. And like the reason, Roy, so you understand, people say if you lost one game in college football, it used to affect your ability to make the playoffs. So every game mattered. So there were 12 games. You watched every one of them, 13 if you made the championship. But then I saw this stat that of the 8 years, there's been 4 teams. If they expanded to 12, Penn State would have made it 6 times.
Wow.
And I don't think they would have had a shot at the championship in any of those 6 runs. Maybe one of the 6, they would have made it to the finals if they got lucky and some breaks their way. So do you feel like now it doesn't mean as much? Like you said, Florida State lost. If they win out, there's a good chance they're in those 12 teams and they can still win it. Whereas before it used to be if they lost, they're done.
It's still football, though, and it's still every single game is important. You're right. Teams with one loss will be making this top 12. Shit, I think there's a great chance you're going to get a team or two, with 2 losses. But once if you get that one loss, you are really hanging on a wire. You really have no room to maneuver, and I still think that makes for captivating TV.
I was just curious your opinion. You're the sports master after all.
That's my opinion. Now, we're going to go out on a trivia challenge just because I want to do it. And it's Roy Harter versus Bobby Tamburro. And because these guys cheat, I did not put any of these questions on the show prep.
We both looked.
Well, we had to after the rule we made last week, which it's mandated to read every goddamn word of the show prep.
Oh, yeah. That's why I read every word, not looking for.
So all of the questions are coming from here.
Okay.
The game is to 7 points.
7 points. Okay. All right.
It's very simple. You can go with an easy question for 1 point, or you can choose a sport that you're comfortable with. Oh. If you get the question that I deliver to you, it's worth 2 points.
Okay. Okay.
So there's a choice here. But
I may have a shot.
The sport-specific question will be a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to start the game right now.
Hit it. I love it.
Roy Harter?
Yes, David.
What do you want? Regular sports or a sports-specific? We're going to call it sports-specific. We'll call it the SS.
I'm going to go with the SS, David.
You ask an Aryan what the group he wants to belong to, of course he's going to say, I'm going to go with the SS. So Roy wants the sports-specific question. Okay.
That's right, David.
Roy.
Yes, David.
I want 2 members of the New York... Excuse me. I want 2 members of the New York Knicks 1969 starting 5, the team that won the Knicks their first championship. I just want 2. I want 2 starters.
Okay. I'll go with is Wilt Chamberlain a Knick? And I'm going to go with Larry Bird.
What a team that would be.
That would have been incredible.
The 1969 Knicks with Wilt Chamberlain and at that point, what I guess would be about an 8-year-old Larry Bird.
All right, clearly I was wrong on one of them.
You're talking half a point, Frazier. You're talking Willis Reed. Again, all of this is off the top of my head. I didn't even write it down for me. But
Okay.
Dave DeBuscher, Bill Bradley. I mean, come on, man. Robert.
Sorry.
So so sport specific. Let's do
Sport
that
specific.
one. Yeah, that means you choose, and if not, I choose the sport.
No. Sport specific is you choose the sport.
Okay, let's do highlight. I'm just teasing.
Highlight.
Sport specific. Let's do basketball.
Thank you, you fucking pain in the ass.
I was just teasing Roy because he's the expert.
Baseball, basketball, and football.
Trying to get in his
Hockey
head.
and boxing and golf are all allowed.
Trying to get in his head.
Not
How
doing
about MMA?
And tennis, because U.S. Open just started.
You know
How
what?
about
Tennis.
MMA, David? MMA?
MMA counts,
Okay,
Okay,
MMA's
all
not on
right.
the board. All right.
but
Lacrosse?
goddamn no highlight.
No lacrosse.
No.
That's really my expertise.
So what was the sport?
Let's do basketball.
Basketball. Robert. What two numbers did Michael Jordan wear in his Chicago Bulls career?
23 and 42.
And I thought you had it. 23 and 45.
Oh, I'm dyslexic. God damn it.
45.
There's a
42,
chance for me.
42, you were either thinking Mariano Rivera. Okay. Maybe Jackie Robinson. He wore
That's the one I
42,
went for.
but not MJ. New rule. The game is going down to 3 points.
Okay, I figured that, David. I knew 7 was a stretch. Anyway,
I realize I
would
don't want this game to be fucking an hour and a half long.
Yeah, I would like to go next, David, and I would
You
like
are
to
going
choose.
next.
And I would like to choose my own sport, which is going to be MMA, mixed
All
martial
right.
art fighting. David,
Sports specific, SS. Roy Harter. Recently, Conor McGregor was going to fight another guy in the UFC. But unfortunately, no matter how many times the fight seemed to be on, it keeps getting called off, and now the fight is off once again. Roy, who was Conor McGregor going to fight?
Chandler, David.
Michael Chandler?
Yeah, Michael Chandler. I'm sorry.
Roy Harter! On the board, Daddy. And that's a 2-pointer, Robert, because he asked for the fucking category.
Oh, man.
And Robert, did you hear that we're only going to 3 points?
I did hear we were going to 3 points.
Yeah, because you guys are blowing every single question. And I
yeah,
have
we're
to
not
get
good
out
at this. I should have been better.
I didn't know you needed the first name, David, but I assumed it wasn't Chandler from Friends, but you know.
You got it. Those 2 points.
Thank you.
Yours, Roy. Robert,
You know
what do
what?
you want to do?
Let's get crazy and do tennis for sports specific.
Fair enough. Robert, give me the tennis player who broke Bjorn Borg's Wimbledon win streak, where Borg won multiple Wimbledons in a row. Someone finally defeated him for him not to win Wimbledon. Who was that someone? For 2 points, 2 big points, which will tie Roy.
It's my favorite Nadal's rival, right? Roger Federer?
Roger Federer.
Yeah. Boy, I thought tennis was my go-to.
Tennis is your go-to. Again, just like Larry Bird, Roger Federer may have been 3 years old when this happened.
Yes.
John McEnroe, you un-American piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Oh.
From New York, Robert.
I'm not.
I'd like to go next, David, and I'd like to pick my own sport. And that sport is going to be Formula One racing, David.
No.
No?
I gave you the baseball, basketball, football, hockey, golf, tennis, boxing, MMA. That's a lot to choose from. None of this other bullshit.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with boxing, David.
Roy.
Yes, David?
Roy Harter.
Yes, sir?
What boxer famously said no mas when fighting Sugar Ray Leonard?
No mas would be
no mas. Who's the boxer who famously said no mas when shooting fighting Sugar Ray Leonard?
Well, I'm going to go with, oh man, I remember the guy who said, "Did you fuck my wife? Did you fuck my wife?"
That's Raging Bull. Hold on. That was a movie. That was Joe De Niro and Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
No, that was not this individual.
This is a different guy. Clearly, this one has a Spanish background. So I'm going to go with
Latino gentleman. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go with. I'm going to try. It's not Manny Pacquiao. It's the other guy, Oscar De La Hoya. David.
Oscar De La Hoya. And Roy, you would have had the win. Roberto Duran.
Oh, Duran.
No mas. Didn't want to come out.
That's right.
Sugar Ray Leonard beat the fuck out of him. Yeah, he gave up. He said no mas. All right, Robert, you're still in this.
To be clear, I don't want to contest points here. I just want to justify Roger Federer is tied with 5 consecutive Wimbledon Opens with Bjorn Borg. That's why I was confused. It wasn't that I was so tired. That's why I was confused.
Listen, you fucking OCD cunt. We are so past that fucking question. And no matter how many won in a row, Federer didn't beat Bjorn Borg's fucking streak. McEnroe did.
No, he did. I pointed out I didn't want to contest. I just was explaining why I was confused.
Yeah,
I am a tennis expert. That's
3
all.
goddamn questions ago, you fucking asshole.
That's autism for you, David.
Oh my God. What fucking sport, Robert? And I'm going to make it as hard as humanly possible.
Basketball. That's what I got a prayer at.
Who won the 1986 dunk contest?
So I'm narrowing it down to 2. I'm going to go with Michael Jordan.
Spud Webb.
That was my guess.
That was the famous Spud Webb dunk contest. Again, all of these come off the top of my head. Are people impressed?
They are.
I am, David.
It does feel like if I had focused on the 80s era of sports, I'd have a better shot than what I'm dealing with right now.
Roy, ask for football. I want this game to be over, and I'm going to use a Super Bowl commercial, Super Bowl from the 80s.
Oh, okay, David, wink. I'm with you, buddy. I'm going to choose
surprise from the 80s.
I'd like to go next, and I'm going to choose Super Bowl as my sport.
Roy, the fucking 49ers beat the goddamn fucking Dolphins in the fucking Super Bowl. Give me the fucking quarterback of the fucking Niners. Oh my God. I tried to give him a layup. He's not doing this to me, is he? I tried to give him a layup.
He just did.
Joe
what?
Joe Montana. Joe Montana. No.
I'm going to need which Joe? You goddamn cheating prick.
All right. 49ers was Joe Montana, David, and that's my final answer. I'm sticking to it.
Joe Montana! Roy Harter wins the Davey Mac Sports Program Trivia Challenge. An unbelievable competition.
I think that's 5 in a row for Roy, as many as Wimbledon consecutive titles as Roger Federer has.
Roy has your number when it comes to sports trivia. Everyone says Roy is he's one of the most educated sportsmen in America. That's what they say about him. I mean, look at all this
one
shit.
Team that for some reason had your number every year. Like when the Bills or when the Jets sucked and they could beat Belichick their 2 games a season. That's what Roy does to me. 90% of the time knows nothing, but when it's trivia time, boy, does he turn it on.
He does. He brings the pain, even though he nearly got disqualified for asking for a Formula One question. We nearly suspended Roy from the game itself. But
if I would have said NASCAR, David, would you have had anything for me? If
I would have done NASCAR.
Okay.
I can do more NASCAR. I know the Tony Stewarts and the fucking Earnhardts and the Richard Pettys and Jimmy. I know all these fucking guys.
The basics, yeah.
I know
kind of where I am.
I know the basics. The other sports I actually watch. But, I know the basics. All right, I'll do it. So, Roy, just give us a text if you're coming to this great adventure thing on Thursday.
Okay, yeah. I'll do my best, David. Just really quick, is it morning, afternoon, evening? Is this a whole day thing, or what are we looking at?
Day thing. Probably the quicker the start, Robert, I think would be better.
Yeah, because it's going to get crowded as the day goes on. But Roy, if you want to leave at any point, you're not trapped for the whole day. Only Dave and me are.
Okay, and Bobby, you're going to be taking care of all the technical side of things as far as like microphones.
Yeah. We'll talk after the show, but it'll be nice and easy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll do my best, David. I'll get back to you ASAP. I just got to check my calendar here.
Excellent. And anything to plug, Roy Harter?
Nothing for me. All my gigs, all the rest of my summer gigs got canceled. Apparently, the band that I was doing my summer gigs with, this is not the Pearl Jam tribute band or those other tribute bands. This is a cover band that I was, picking up some local gigs with. Apparently, they didn't like the lead singer. They fired him. The lead singer who booked all the gigs canceled all the gigs. So I'm shit out of luck for the rest of the summer. So
holy shit!
Yeah, is that crazy, man? The politics of local bands, cover bands, is I could write a book on it. It's such a fascinating world.
Did you sense any tension when that happened?
Not at all, David. Not at all. Now, mind you, I'm the kind of guy who likes playing in bands that have a lot of tension and strife in them, right? But this band seemed to be like smooth sailing. And so I called the guy up the night before the gig. I was like, hey, what's going on with tomorrow night's gig? No rehearsals. Nobody's contacted me. I have no set list. They said, oh, yeah, I got fired from that band and I canceled all the gigs. So I was like, what all the gigs?
Would you mind me asking what kind of music do you play?
This is a cover band. So we're doing dance music for 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, that means I got some free time to learn all the songs for my Doors tribute band that's coming up in October 4th. Sometime in October. Don't quote me on October 4th.
If that fucking singer gets the axe, you know who to call.
Yeah, me, because I love to do that many drugs.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, David, I actually put your name on the flyer. Roy Harter from the East Side Dave Show. Huh?
Well, first of all, you're from the Davey Mac Sports Program.
Well, I was on the East Side Dave Show. I was also in Pearl Jam, but I no longer play in Pearl Jam, David, so I couldn't say that.
No, but why not promote the show that we're doing so we could get like YouTube hits and shit?
Well, I tried that. So as long as people as long as they Google,
Roy, give me any goddamn Doors. Give me any fucking Doors song at all. Let's go. I put you two fucking assholes on the spot. You put me on the spot. Any goddamn Doors song right now. Let's go.
What do you want? What do you want me to say?
Whatever,
you want me to play something?
No. I will fucking sing it.
Oh,
this will be a goddamn audition. Oh, you want me to? Okay. Baby, 1 and 5. No one here gets out of line. You got yours, baby. I get mine. Gonna make it, baby. It's all right. Come on. You get older, young get stronger. They take a week and it may take longer. We got the good spot. They got the numbers. Gonna win, yeah, we're taking over. Come on! All right. But I think we should package that and give it to your bandmates and let them know that the Dave Man is there to fill in for any Jim Morrison vocals.
I will put it out there, David. And never say never, buddy.
Thank you. Robert?
Yeah, if you want to see me feature for Aaron Berg tomorrow, Dewey Beach, come out to the Starboard. Or Saturday, you can see me at the farm in Connecticut. Now, you might go, what's the farm? It's a farm. We're doing comedy.
I like it, though.
It's going to be dope. Punk rock.
I like it. It's fun.
It's going to be awesome.
It's like Field of Dreams comedy.
Yeah, fresh produce and laughs.
You're right. Like the opposite, where dreams go to die.
Well, I'll do it from me. Robert, I guess I'll see you on Thursday. Maybe I'll see you, Roy. Remember, this is the Fun Live thing. Upload though, and make sure you're following and getting the cleaned up the remastered version, which will be available by tonight. For Roy Harter, Bobby Tamburro, I'm Davey Mac. Good night, everybody.